Let's give some thought to two significant environmental problems: water shortages and climate change. Water shortages have been an ongoing problem in many areas for all time. Climate change is considered by many to be a relatively recent condition that started with the industrial age. Both topics, and especially their proposed solutions, are a great source of controversy. Either tackling or ignoring solutions for these issues will have a significant impact on the world's economy and human quality of life. Very well-informed people would have opposing answers for questions such as: is global warming real? After all, during heat waves it's often called global warming. Then during cold snaps, it seems to be called climate change. Right now, in the year 2023, atmospheric carbon dioxide is at 419 parts per million. This is an increase of 139 parts per million from estimated pre-industrial age times. That is a very small number. For comparison, if you had $1,000 in a bank account, if the balance increased at the same ratio, your $1,000 balance would have increased by just 14 cents. On the other hand, an increase of 1 degree Fahrenheit is only a 0.2% increase in temperature as measured from absolute zero. That too is very small, but it is a very consequential number. At 32 degrees Fahrenheit, it's the difference between water and ice. And that is a critical and consequential temperature existing all over our planet. Is it even a serious problem? Some say sea level will not change measurably. Others had predicted it would have been much higher already. Still others say it will rise significantly this century. If it is real, is it a result of human processes or just a natural occurrence? The approximately 11-year cycle of solar minimums and solar maximums observed by sunspot and strikingly variable corona activity also are a factor. It is also thought there may additionally be grand solar maximums and minimums of solar activity on a cycle counted in hundreds of years. Periodic volcanic activity has had at least a confirmed short-term effect on our environment. If it is caused by human processes, what investments and sacrifices should mankind make to mitigate the problem? There is a movement to have a carbon tax. If that occurs, who gets the revenue? What dependable mechanism could exist to assure that countries don't squander the money that was intended to fund an effective solution? Or, if it's just a natural occurrence, why should we change our lifestyles whatsoever? If mankind discovers an effective solution, is there a way to ensure this world's countries can afford to, or are even willing to participate in the solution? Hello. I'm an artificial digital voice, generating audible words written by Jim Ransom. As clunky as my oration is, it's still way better than Jim's delivery. As bad as Jim is at speaking, he's pretty good at thinking. We're not trying to get Best Picture at the Oscars. It's more like we're trying to get best solution for the planet. After all, right now this is an idea with a micro budget. So please bear with us and hear us out. Actually, between us integrated circuits, we call him Dr. Sominex. But I digress. Team IOB is looking at a solution to mitigate the least controversial of these problems, water shortage, by the most cost-effective means possible. Solutions avoiding controversy and costs are the most likely to be implemented. Solutions avoiding controversy, with a potential to produce revenue, are then even more likely to be implemented. And more likely to succeed. Team IOB believes it has just such a solution. Fresh water has a direct relation with carbon capture. In fact, just as there is a natural water cycle, there is also a natural carbon cycle. Team IOB is developing a new way to desalinate ocean water in a way that is economically superior to traditional processes. A new source of fresh water, not obtained from our rivers or wells, would be of minimal controversy. Production of fresh water enables both an agricultural and economic generator. Therefore, the process is self-sustainable because it is self-funding. The introduction of plentiful water to the Earth's arid regions will produce, as a byproduct, a reduction in atmospheric carbon. So, this is a solution, for a problem we all understand, that provides a solution for the other problem that collectively, we don't fully understand. Our world already has a natural process to capture carbon. Though this existing process does not need to be invented. With the Team IOB process, it could be expanded. It is not commonly known that the carbon cycle naturally is solving the world's carbon problem during a portion of every year. Unfortunately, the process is stalled during the remainder of each year. This results in a net increase in atmospheric carbon annually. This chart from Scripps Institute of Oceanography shows atmospheric carbon dioxide concentrations on an annual basis over a 50-year period. Notice the annual parts per million concentration of atmospheric carbon traces that slowly increasing sawtooth pattern. Photosynthesis, the process where plants use solar energy to absorb carbon dioxide and react it with water to create hydrocarbons, more commonly known as wood, is nature's process that reduces global atmospheric carbon. But as we have seen, the rate of photosynthesis on a global scale is not consistent. So why is this? And since we now know that nature already has the corrective solution for a portion of each and every year, can we plagiarize and expand nature's solution to dull that saw blade? Photosynthesis occurs at a high rate globally during the northern hemisphere summer. Not so much during the southern hemisphere summer. Compare these two Earth images. What a difference in the Earth's landmass comparing the view from high above the North Pole and the other view from high above the South Pole. Photosynthesis, thus carbon capture, is greatly accelerated during the northern hemisphere summer, as opposed to the southern hemisphere summer, simply due to the dominance of landmass in the northern hemisphere. So this is the why for the sawtooth pattern. It is key to understanding the relationship between our desalination process and its carbon capture byproduct. Carbon capture is dependent on photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is dependent on plant growth and solar energy. Plant growth is dependent on the availability of warm lands and fresh water. If fresh water could be plentiful for our Earth's arid land masses, plant growth would be enabled in those parched regions. Bringing irrigation water to those areas in need, without sourcing the water from rivers and wells, should be of little controversy. An increase in the production of agricultural products creates a new revenue stream. Producing more food, of course, can have a positive impact regarding world hunger, another problem in need of a solution. On our next visit, we will look at the untapped method under development by Team IOB to efficiently desalinate ocean water. Team IOB believes its method, which taps existing and directly adjacent oceanic energy states, will prove to be a much more efficient and dependable way to desalinate ocean water than current methods. Team IOB has a non-controversial process with a good potential to be self-funding by producing revenue. Contact Team IOB with your questions at hello@teamiob.org. Thank you for your time in viewing this video.